Woman refused to let man board the plane but regretted it after she heard his reply. We all love traveling, but the things you need to do before arriving at your destination can be stressful. Booking the flight, having to choose what you are going to take without then pack it all up, the journey to the destination can be long and boring, but it all starts to be fine and well when you arrive. Arriving at the destination makes you forget every little thing that has happened during the journey that has made you feel stressed out. In this story, Emmett was going on vacation, but before he arrived at his destination, he had a weird and difficult experience. Emmett was just trying to catch his flight so he could go on a vacation. But the words that he uttered when a woman wouldn't stop harassing him made him look like a hero. The woman wouldn't stop yelling at him, and everyone that was near was starting to get annoyed. Emmett didn't think twice, and when those words came out, the woman was left speechless. Everyone around them stayed silent for a second and then started to applaud Emmett for what he said to the woman. But how did Emmett end up in this situation? For people who have flown at least once, you have experienced how noisy and crowded an airport can be. Everyone is looking for their gate, some people are yelling at the staff because they missed their flights. Others are sleeping on the bench because their flight got delayed. All in all, it can get pretty hectic at the airport. Emmett knew that it was going to be a busy day at the airport and he was determined that nothing would change his mood. He had been saving up for a holiday and just wanted to catch his flight. He even treated himself to a first-class seat. Emmett worked extra hard for the past months so he can save up for a vacation to the Dominican Republic. He planned everything perfectly. He booked his flight a day before his birthday just so he can relax and celebrate it in peace. He finished all the work that he had and wanted to treat himself. Everything was ready and Emmett was ready as well. The only thing that he didn't plan for was an entitled woman that would ruin his day. He made it to the line where he was supposed to check his ticket. He was smiling all the time. Knowing how much fun and relaxation was waiting for him at the end of that flight. Emmett is a music executive, which means that he goes to the studio every day and works long hours. He was proud of himself that all that hard work was going to pay off. The bad thing was that one lady was going to try to take all of what he planned away. He made it to the line at his gate. He was still pumped and waited for his turn to get on the flight. While waiting, he heard a voice just behind him and then a little force as someone was trying to get past him. He turned around quickly and saw a woman trying to cut the line to get to the plane. He just wanted to see and ask what was going on, but had no idea that he was going to get in a confrontation with a lady. When Emmett turned around and saw the lady, she was already staring at him. He was fully analyzing him. From top to bottom and the way she looked at him, she gave Emmett the feeling that she thought he wasn't supposed to be there. Without saying anything, she pointed to a sign that said that the line they were waiting in was only for people who had first-class tickets. At that point, she muttered out some words that left Emmett shocked. She said to him that he is in the wrong line and that she needed to move. Emmett tried to tell the woman that he also had a first-class seat booked, but before he could do so, the woman started to yell and push herself in front of him. Emmett calmly wanted to defuse the situation and remain as positive as possible. When the woman started to yell at him, Emmett was confused because he thought to himself, has he did something wrong? He began to explain that he also has booked a first-class seat on the flight and was where he's supposed to be. It was like the woman didn't hear a word he said and again started to yell at him, saying to let her through. He tried to explain again, but it was hopeless, the woman wouldn't hear a word he said. Then Emmett realized what this lady was trying to say to him. The woman continued to yell and started to scream that he was in the wrong line and that he should let her past him. She also said that, when she gets on the flight, the crew on board would call the rest of the passengers to get in. Emmett started to ask questions in his head, like why this lady was so sure that he was in the wrong line. Because he even got his wallet out and showed her the first-class ticket that he had. Let's be clear, Emmett didn't have to do this, but he thought that this was the only way he could convince the lady that he was right where he had to be. He was obviously wrong about that. The woman wouldn't shut up. She kept on talking to her friends behind her, but she did it in a tone that Emmett could hear what she was saying. She said that he could be military, and that is why he is in this line. She even implied that Emmett didn't pay for the ticket and they did, so he should still wait behind. Emmett was shocked to hear what this lady was talking about. He decided that he didn't want to make a scene and he kept coming up with excuses as to why this lady was acting the way she was. Emmett was getting an almost clear picture of what the woman was implying. But he kept second-guessing himself and didn't want to believe that still today people could judge someone by the skin of his color. At the same time, he didn't want to assume that was the case here. Maybe she has had a bad day and all she wanted to do was get to her flight, but as time went by and she kept on talking and yelling, he was starting to not believe in that scenario. He started to talk to her again. This time, politely saying that he was there first and she would have to wait in line like everyone behind her. He stopped believing that she was stressed by something else and that she was just rude. He saw that the woman wasn't well dressed, but he didn't want to say what was coming in mind. In the end, his response got everyone around them to clap at what he said. Emmett turned around once again and said to the woman that he wasn't in anybody's military. He booked a first-class ticket because he would have more space and be more comfortable during the flight. Because the seats in first class are bigger, he would be able to sit more comfortably because of his big stature. More things were racing through his mind and he figured out that that wasn't the only thing he was about to say. Let's get things clear, no serviceman or woman gets free tickets to first class, period. This was just an effort for the woman to not sound racist. She clearly wanted to say that because he was an African American, he couldn't afford first-class tickets. This was going on for a while, and slowly people started gathering around them. Some tried to see what was going on while others wanted a piece of the action. And Emmett was about to give them a show. For who knows what time, Emmett turned around and said something that made everyone who was around them start to clap. When the woman first heard the words that came out of Emmett's mouth, she was stunned. Someone had to say something to her, and Emmett felt responsible for that. He didn't want to get confrontational, but the woman was crossing the line. Emmett told the woman that he was only an African American man that had money. He added a slur that is quite inappropriate, but he made his point. The people around him started to even cheer for Emmett. They loved his reply, but they loved more the fact that the woman made a funny face. Even after that, the story wasn't over. He was proud of what he did. He took a stand and wouldn't let some entitled lady harass him. He even shared a picture on social media, thinking that only his family and friends would see it. But things started to escalate fast. The picture that he posted was on social media for just a couple of days. Then it blew up. More than 250,000 people shared the picture, and thousands of people started to comment on it. Many people started to praise Emmett for what he did, and Eve left words of encouragement and praise in his comments. Many people said that the woman got what she deserved. This would turn quickly. Emmett got on his flight and arrived at his destination. After a couple of days, he realized that his photo went viral. So many people were sharing it, it was unbelievable. People from every part of the world left their praise in the comments. Emmett, on the other hand, wasn't too thrilled that his post went viral. While he was at his destination, he had a lot of time to think about the whole situation. He later said that racism is no joke and we should all come together to talk about it, but his post wasn't the right way to deal with an issue as big as racism. He has said that he wasn't enjoying his vacation. It was supposed to be relaxing and peaceful, but the things that were happening on social media made everything bad. He also said that one photo made thousands of people hate that lady. Some even claimed that the post was fake. Emmett wanted to address everything rightly. Emmett wrote another post saying that the post was real and that the situation happened. The main thing that he is not proud of was that he acted the way he acted. If he could go back in time, he wouldn't comment back to the woman and he would just stay silent. On his social media, Emmett wanted people to know that he has always tried to take the higher road and has always tried to do the right thing. He also added that before acting up, he would think about the other person and what do they think. He said that, if he was that lady today, that he would have felt awful. Thinking about the situation this way makes you realize that nothing has changed but only made people angrier. He didn't want things to end as they ended. Emmett again went on his social media and issued an apology to the woman. He said that he was sorry for the way he acted and the things he said. He added that even though she was wrong and acted disrespectfully, she didn't deserve to be treated like that by him. Everyone noticed that the woman didn't accept the apology. Nevertheless, Emmett has mentioned that if he could have the chance to go back and do things differently, he would 100% do it.